A few years ago, getting out of bed was a small daily battle. Every morning I felt my knees creak like dry branches. The first step was always the most painful. It took me several minutes before I could straighten my body and move without feeling as if my joints were breaking from the inside. For months I tried everything people told me: pills, ointments, massages, even expensive therapies. Some things eased the pain for a few hours, but the next day, everything went back to the same. I started to think that growing old was exactly that, getting used to suffering in silence. Until one day, during a medical visit, a traditional medicine doctor told me something that surprised me. He said to me, "Sometimes the body does not need more medicine. It only needs a reminder of what nature already knows how to do." And he mentioned a simple seed, a seed so small it fits on the tip of your fingers, but with a huge strength inside it. He explained to me that when you leave it in water overnight, it releases compounds that help the joints regain their mobility and reduce inflammation. He did not promise miracles, only consistency. And that sounded reasonable to me. After all, the body needs time to learn to trust itself again. I started doing it every night. I would soak that seed before going to bed and take it when I woke up. During the first week, something changed. My morning steps were less harsh, my hands more flexible, and, most importantly, I got back the hope of being able to move without pain. Today I want to tell you exactly what happens when you soak this seed, why it is so powerful, and how it can help your joints feel better in just 7 days. It is not a magic secret. It is natural wisdom that has accompanied whole generations before us. So stay with me until the end, because you will learn the correct way to prepare it and the mistakes you must avoid so that it truly works. And before we begin, I would love to get to know you a little better. Tell me in the comments how many years old you are and from which country you are listening to us. I like to imagine this channel as a big conversation among friends who want to take care of themselves and live better, no matter their age. Silent pain. What happens in your joints as you age? As the years go by, the body begins to speak in a new language. It no longer expresses itself with energy or speed, but with crackling, with stiffness, with small warnings that are felt in every movement. That feeling of tightness when you wake up, that dry sound in your knees when you climb a step, that mild pain that settles in without asking permission. At first, you ignore it. You think it is tiredness or that the weather is changing. But over time, those discomforts become part of your routine. The joints are like hinges that hold our whole life. Every time we walk, bend down or twist, they do their job without complaining. But year after year, the cartilage, this soft tissue that cushions the bones, begins to wear down. It is a slow, almost imperceptible process. A small rub here, a loss of elasticity there, until one day, the body reminds us that nothing lasts forever. Inside each joint, there is a transparent fluid, the synovial fluid. Its task is to keep the surface smooth, flexible, and lubricated. However, with age, this fluid decreases. It is as if the body's machinery were running out of oil. The result is stiffness, inflammation, and a constant feeling of friction. On top of that come changes in the muscles and tendons, which lose strength and support. The knees carry more weight than they should. The shoulders become more fragile. The hands tremble when doing simple tasks. And, without noticing it, pain becomes a shadow that accompanies every day. But joint pain is not only physical, it also touches the mind. Every step becomes a reminder of time. Every difficult movement makes us feel older, more limited, further away from what we once were. Some people start moving less to avoid pain, but that is the body's worst enemy. Because when we stop moving, the blood stops flowing, the muscles weaken, and the joints rust even faster. That is why aging does not mean surrendering to pain. The body, even tired, holds a silent wisdom. It has the capacity to regenerate, to adapt, and to heal when we give it what it needs. And this is where nature comes in. For centuries, ancient peoples trusted plants and seeds to relieve the body's discomforts. They did not speak of chemistry or formulas. They spoke of balance. They knew that certain foods could nourish the joints from within, giving them back flexibility and calm. Today, science is beginning to confirm what they already sensed, that there are natural compounds capable of reducing inflammation and improving joint lubrication. And one of those solutions, so simple it seems unbelievable, begins with a small seed, a seed that, when it comes into contact with water, awakens its healing power. It is not a miraculous remedy, but it is a tool to remind the body that it can move again without fear. So if today you feel pain, stiffness, or tiredness in your joints, do not take it as a sentence, but as a sign. Your body is not punishing you, it is asking for attention. And in the next parts, you are going to discover how that attention can come in the humblest form, a simple soaked seed that night after night gives the joints back movement, strength and hope. The miracle seed, origin and basic properties. Sometimes the most powerful answers are hidden in the smallest things. For centuries, ancient peoples searched the earth for remedies for the tired body. In the mountains of Asia, in the valleys of the Middle East, and in the fields of the Mediterranean, the elders spoke of a golden, small and round seed capable of easing pain and restoring movement to those who had already lost hope. That seed was part of their daily life. They mixed it with honey, added it to bread or boiled it in water. They did not call it a remedy, they called it a blessing. Today we know it by many names. Some call it fenugreek, others sesame, others know it as the seed of strength. It does not matter what you call it. What matters is understanding what it does. When you leave it in water overnight, it wakes up. Its outer shell softens, it releases natural oils and compounds that the body recognizes as its own. That transformation is the beginning of its healing power. The ancients knew that whatever sprouts has life. That is why they said that a seed that awakens in water also awakens the body's energy. Today, science explains it another way. When hydrated, the seed releases mucilage, antioxidants, and essential fatty acids that help reduce inflammation and improve joint lubrication. It also contains magnesium, calcium, iron, and zinc, minerals that strengthen bones and regenerate cartilage. When you take it on an empty stomach, its effect is gentle but steady. It does not act immediately like a painkiller, but it works from within, rebuilding what time has worn down. Day after day, the natural compounds penetrate the tissues, nourish the cells, and give elasticity back to the joints. It is a slow process, but full of wisdom. The body does not heal overnight, but it always responds when you treat it consistently. In many cultures, this seed was a symbol of renewal. In India, it was used to prepare tonics that strengthened muscles and calmed inflammation. In Egypt, doctors mixed it with honey to relieve knee and elbow pain in field workers. And in Greece, the elders took it at dawn, convinced that it brought balance to the body and clarity to the mind. Over the centuries, its fame remained because it worked, even if no one could explain exactly why. Today, thanks to modern research, we know that it contains saponins, flavonoids, and anti-inflammatory compounds that reduce damage to joint tissues. Its antioxidant properties protect cells from aging and promote better circulation. That is why those who consume it frequently notice not only less pain, but also more energy and mobility. But the most interesting thing is its simplicity. You do not have to look for it in a laboratory or pay a fortune for it. You only need a handful of natural seeds, a glass of water, and a bit of patience. At night, you leave them to rest. During those hours, they absorb the water and release all their inner power. In the morning, the water becomes slightly thick and aromatic. That is the elixir many older people drink to relieve their joints. A single seed may seem insignificant, but when it activates, it holds everything the body needs to remember how to heal. And that is the beauty of this method. It does not fight against the body. It goes along with it. It does not force it. It teaches it. It does not promise eternal youth, but it does promise movement without pain. Because sometimes, what modern medicine complicates, nature solves with humility. One small seed can do what a great medicine sometimes cannot: restore movement and calm. Truth 1. The seed awakens joint hydration. The first change many people notice when they begin to take this seed is something subtle, almost imperceptible. It is not a sudden disappearance of pain, but a new sensation. The joints seem to move more easily, as if, inside them, something began to flow again. When the joints hurt, it is often because they lack lubrication. Imagine an old door with rusty hinges. Every time you open it, it creaks and resists. But just one drop of oil is enough for it to move smoothly again. The body works the same way. Inside our knees, elbows and shoulders, there is a fluid that allows the bones to slide without friction. That fluid is called synovial fluid, and over the years it becomes thicker and scarcer. That is where the seed comes into play. When you let it soak overnight, it releases a gelatinous substance called mucilage. Once ingested, that substance acts like a natural lubricant inside the body. It helps retain water in the tissues, improves the elasticity of the cartilage, and supports the regeneration of joint surfaces. The result is a joint that is more flexible, more hydrated, less stiff. A woman named Helen, 78 years old, told her story with a smile that almost did not fit on her face. For years, she used a cane to walk. The pain in her knees was constant, especially in the mornings. She had tried painkillers and massages, but the relief always lasted a short time, until a friend told her about this seed. At first, she doubted it. She thought it was just another recipe like those that circulate among acquaintances, but she decided to try it. Every night she put a spoonful in a glass of water and left it to rest beside her bed. In the morning, she drank the liquid slowly, with faith and without hurry. After a week, she noticed that something had changed. She got up and walked to the window without reaching for her cane. Her steps were firmer, lighter. The pain had not disappeared completely, but her body moved with a freedom she thought she had lost. When they asked her if it was a miracle, she answered, "It was not magic. It was consistency and nature working together." That sentence sums up the spirit of this remedy. The seed does not perform magic. It awakens what already exists within us, the ability to heal and adapt. Every fiber, every cell of our body seeks balance. It only needs us to give it the right resources. And the mucilage in this seed acts like an invisible balm that soothes the friction of time. Preparing it is simple, but it requires care. At night, take a teaspoon of seeds and put it in half a glass of warm water. Cover it and let it rest for 8 hours. In that time, the seeds will absorb the water, swell, and release their natural gel. In the morning, drink the water slowly, in small sips. Some people also eat the seeds, others prefer only the liquid. Both ways are effective. What matters is not the amount, but the consistency. There is no use doing it one day yes and another day no. The body needs rhythm, like a plant that is watered every morning. If you do it every day, you will notice that the stiffness gradually gives way. Movements become smoother, joints more confident. There is no age limit to start. Nature does not discriminate. Each body responds at its own pace, but all are grateful for care. And if every night you remember to soak your seed, you will be giving your body one more chance to move without pain, to recover its inner lubrication, to feel again that the passage of time does not always mean loss, because in every drop of that water there is something more than a remedy. There is a silent promise of relief, of movement, and of gratitude toward the body that holds us up every day. Truth too, it reduces internal inflammation and chronic pain. Pain does not always shout. Sometimes it whispers, and it does so from within. A slight discomfort when you close your hand, a stab when you bend down, a stiffness that settles without permission in the shoulders or in the back. That is silent inflammation, the kind that lives inside the joints and, little by little, steals mobility and energy. Inflammation is a natural reaction of the body. When an area is damaged, the organism sends defenses to protect it. But over the years, that system can become confused and remain switched on longer than necessary. Then, what was supposed to be a help becomes an enemy. The joints swell, heat up, hurt. The cytokines, those tiny messenger molecules that regulate inflammation, begin to work too much, and the body becomes exhausted, fighting against itself. This is where the seed shows its true wisdom. Inside it holds antioxidants and natural compounds that help balance that process. Antioxidants act like guardians that neutralize free radicals, those tiny particles that accelerate cellular aging. By doing so, they reduce internal damage and allow the body to breathe better. In addition, its saponins and flavonoids calm the excessive production of cytokines, helping the joints to rest. Science explains it with complex words, but the reality is simple. The seed helps the body turn off the inner fire. It does not do it from one day to the next, but slowly, with patience. That is why those who take it consistently notice that the pain becomes milder, movements easier, and the mind calmer. I remember the case of Charles, a man 75 years old who suffered mild arthritis in his hands. His fingers were stiff, especially in the mornings. For years, he took painkillers so he could write, read, or cook without discomfort. Until one day, tired of depending on pills, he decided to try something different. A neighbor told him about the seed that eases the body if you respect it with discipline. He did not fully believe it, but he thought, what do I have to lose? Every night he put a teaspoon in warm water and left it to stand. In the morning, he drank the liquid and ate the seeds slowly, without hurry. while looking out the window. Days passed, and he began to notice small changes. First, his hands felt less hot. Then, his fingers began to move more freely. In 1 week, he was able to write again, without stiffness stopping him. He did not abandon his medical treatment, but he reduced the number of pills. His doctor was surprised by the progress and said to him, "Keep doing that. It seems your body likes it." And that is the important thing. It is not about replacing medicine, but about accompanying it, letting nature and science work together, not one against the other. That is why I always say, this seed does not replace the doctor, but it helps the body do its part. Chronic pain does not disappear with willpower alone. It requires patience, movement, and a way of eating that encourages inner calm. Foods rich in antioxidants such as red fruits, green vegetables, and this miracle seed help the blood flow better. Cells repair themselves, and the body find its balance. When you reduce inflammation, you not only relieve pain, you also regain mental clarity, rest, and the energy to enjoy life. Charles understood this after a few weeks. He said, "The seed did not just take away my pain, it gave me back the hope that I can still get better." And he was right. Because aging is not surrendering to deterioration, it is learning to listen to the body's messages and respond with care. Consistency and conscious eating are more powerful than any temporary remedy. Pills bring relief, but nature teaches. And when body and mind work together, even the oldest pain begins to fade like a distant echo. Truth 3. It strengthens muscles and tendons around the joint. There is a secret many people do not know. Joints do not work alone. Each one is surrounded by a silent army of muscles, tendons, and ligaments that hold it, protect it, and give it strength. When these muscles weaken, the joints have to carry the whole load, and the pain increases. That is why strengthening the body from inside is as important as moving it from outside. The seed we have been talking about not only calms inflammation, it also nourishes the tissues that surround the joints. It is full of minerals the body needs to stay firm and resistant. Calcium strengthens bones, magnesium relaxes muscles and improves their recovery, and zinc helps repair tissues after effort. Each one plays its part, and together they form a perfect symphony to support movement. Over time, muscles lose density and tendons become stiffer. That is why a weak joint is not always the fault of worn cartilage, but of tired muscles around it. When these lose strength, every step, every twist, every everyday movement demands extra effort. That is when pain, stiffness, and a feeling of fragility appear. But the good news is that the body has memory. If we give it the right nutrients, it remembers how to regenerate. The magnesium in this seed helps relax the muscles and improves calcium absorption, allowing the bones to strengthen without becoming overloaded. Zinc and iron stimulate collagen production, the tissue that joins bones, tendons, and muscles into a single flexible structure, and the natural fatty acids act as tiny lubricants that allow everything to move in harmony. Over time, this inner strengthening becomes greater stability. The joints no longer suffer as much when walking, the knees feel safer, and the shoulders more solid. It is not a sudden change, but progress built day by day, like someone caring for a plant until seeing it bloom. Many people think that, as they get older, they must move less to avoid pain. But the opposite happens. When you stop moving, the muscles shut down, the tendons shorten, and the joints become more fragile. The body needs movement to stay alive. We are not talking about hard exercise or impossible efforts, but about small daily gestures that reactivate inner energy. You can start with something as simple as stretching every morning. Move your arms slowly, rotate your ankles, walk for a few minutes in the sun. Every movement sends blood to the tissues, and that blood carries the minerals the seed has given you. That is the key. Feeding the body from within and activating it from without. If you do both, improvement comes faster and with less effort. A woman once said to me, "I was afraid to move for fear of pain until I understood that the pain came from not moving." She was right. The body does not need you to force it, only that you accompany it. If you listen to it and take care of it, it will tell you when to move forward and when to rest. Each stretch, each deep breath is a way of saying, "I still can. I still want to go on." Imagine your joints for a moment as the roots of a tree. The stronger the muscles around them, the more stable the trunk. The wind may blow, time may pass, but the tree remains upright because it has been well nourished. The human body works the same way. Strength does not come only from exercise, but also from nutrition, from a calm mind, and from steady habit. That is why, if every morning you drink your soaked seed and then give yourself a few minutes of gentle movement, you will be sending a powerful message to your body. I am still here, and I am still taking care of myself. And as the days go by, you will notice your steps becoming firmer, your arms lighter, and your back more confident. That is not magic or a miracle. It is nature responding to your effort. Strengthening muscles and tendons is not a matter of youth, but of commitment. And the body, even after 70 years, is grateful for every gesture of care. Because to grow old with strength does not mean to resist, it means to move with wisdom. Truth 4. It improves circulation and detoxifies the body. The body is a river in constant motion. The blood travels without rest, carrying oxygen, nutrients, and life to every corner. When that river flows strongly, everything works better. The heart beats calmly, the joints are nourished, and the muscles respond with agility. But when circulation slows down, the body starts to suffer. The hands get cold, the legs swell, the joints feel heavy. With age, blood tends to move more slowly. The arteries become less elastic, the capillaries lose strength, and the tissues receive less oxygen. That lack of circulation does not only cause tiredness, it also increases inflammation and makes it harder to eliminate toxins. The body becomes denser, more rigid, as if it carried an invisible weight. This is where the seed shows another of its virtues. Its natural compounds help stimulate circulation and cleanse the system from within. When soaked, it releases substances that improve blood fluidity and strengthen the walls of blood vessels. This allows nutrients to reach the joints more easily and waste to be removed more quickly. When blood circulates well, cells receive more oxygen and the joints regain their vitality. Furthermore, this improvement in circulation has a visible effect. It reduces swelling in the legs, ankles, and hands. Many older people think that swelling is inevitable, but in reality it is a sign that the body needs to move and to detoxify. The seed, combined with enough water, helps eliminate excess fluids and detoxifies the tissues. The result is a feeling of lightness that can be noticed from the very first days. I remember the story of Martha, a woman 76 years old who wrote to tell me about her experience. She said her fingers were always swollen and that every morning it was hard for her to put on her rings. Her hands hurt and she had to take the rings off for fear they would get stuck. She decided to try the seed, without much faith, but with curiosity. For a week, she soaked it every night and drank the water in the mornings, along with 2 more glasses of water during the day. After a few days, she noticed something unexpected. Her hands felt lighter, and her rings no longer squeezed her. She said even her legs were less heavy at the end of the afternoon. Her secret was simple: consistency and good hydration. Water and the seed work together as a perfect team. The seed provides the nutrients and natural compounds that activate circulation. The water, in turn, is the vehicle that carries those benefits to every cell. Without enough water, the effects are reduced, because the body needs that medium to eliminate toxins and maintain its inner balance. That is why, every time you drink the water in which the seed has rested, remember to accompany it with more water during the day. There is no need to exaggerate. It is enough to listen to your body and keep it hydrated. The color of your urine, the freshness of your skin, and your energy when you wake up are signs that you are doing things right. Good circulation not only nourishes the joints, it also cleans the mind. When blood flows, thinking becomes clearer, mood improves, and tiredness disappears. The body, free from toxins, breathes better and feels lighter. And that feeling of lightness turns into movement, into joy, into a desire to walk again and look at the world with new eyes. Nature has its own rhythm. It does not push, it does not demand, it only invites us to flow. And when we help the body move like water, soft, steady, without interruptions, life finds its balance again. So every time you prepare your glass with seeds, remember this: you are not only feeding your joints, you are awakening the inner current that keeps you alive. And when that current flows, body and soul are renewed. Because health, in its purest form, is not rigidity or strength, it is movement. Truths 5, 6, and 7. It rejuvenates the system, improves sleep, and lifts the mood. When the body begins to heal from within, the changes do not stay only in the joints. They spread like waves that reach every corner of the organism. Suddenly, what used to be tiredness becomes energy. What used to be stiffness turns into lightness. The seed not only relieves physical pain, It also rejuvenates the systems that support daily life. The first change many notice is in digestion. By reducing inflammation, the body absorbs food better, the stomach feels lighter, and the intestine works more regularly. That feeling of heaviness after eating begins to disappear, and with it, energy stops getting stuck. The organism, now cleaner and more active, distributes nutrients better and recovers its natural balance. The second change happens in rest. When the body is not fighting inflammation all the time, it can finally sleep. Sleep becomes deeper, more restorative. The mind stops waking up in the middle of the night, and the body uses those hours to regenerate tissues, strengthen bones, and calm the muscles. Sleeping well is not just closing your eyes. It is giving the body permission to repair itself. And this seed, by stabilizing the inner system, helps that process happen effortlessly. And then comes the most unexpected change: mood. When pain fades, the mind blossoms. People smile again, have more patience, and enjoy the day without thinking about fatigue. The body and the mind are more connected than we imagine. When one calms down, the other does too. The seed, by reducing inflammation and improving circulation, allows the brain to receive more oxygen. That balances the feel-good hormones, improves mood, and drives away anxiety. I remember a beautiful phrase from a woman I met at a natural clinic. She said, "When my knees stopped hurting, I went back out to the garden. And when I went back to the garden, I laughed again." That simple sentence holds a deep truth. It is not just the physical relief that changes life. It is what that relief allows you to recover. Movement, contact with nature, the desire to do again the things that used to bring you joy. When the body feels good, the soul finds space to breathe. You no longer live focused on pain, but on the present. Walking, watering a plant, talking with a friend, or watching the sunset become small, everyday miracles. Because health is not just the absence of disease, it is a way of enjoying life again. And that is the real teaching behind this seed. It does not seek to rejuvenate out of vanity, but to give the body back the harmony it lost. A balanced system sleeps better, digests better, thinks better, and loves better. Everything is connected. When the body heals, the mind heals too. And when the mind calms down, the body follows. So, if you decide to try this habit, do not do it only to relieve a pain. Do it to awaken your vital energy, to make peace with your body, and to feel alive again. Because caring for your body is not just a physical act, it is a gesture of love toward yourself. Now that you know these truths, it is time to look back and understand what we really learned. During this journey, we talked about a simple seed, but in reality we spoke about something bigger: the body's ability to heal when it is treated with respect. We discovered that hydrating the joints not only relieves pain, it also gives back the freedom to move. That reducing inflammation allows you to rest without pills. That strengthening muscles and tendons brings back stability and confidence. And that improving circulation cleanses the body and clears the mind. Each of these truths is not an empty promise, but a reminder that the body still has power, even after 70 years. Because it is not just about a seed, but about reminding the body that it can still heal. And the most beautiful thing is that this process does not require much. A little discipline, a glass of water, a few minutes of calm. Nature does the rest. The most important advice is simple. Every night, before you go to bed, put a teaspoon of seeds in half a glass of water. Let them rest and let time do its part. In the morning, drink the water slowly, in silence, grateful for one more day. That is your daily medicine, a small gesture but full of meaning. Do it with faith, with patience, with consistency, because nature always rewards patience. You do not need to wait for immediate results. Just trust the process. Remember that every day you care for your body, it gives back to you in the form of movement, relief, and life. And when you begin to feel the changes, less stiffness, more energy, a better mood, you will understand that it was never a miraculous recipe, but a conversation between you and your own body. Tell me in the comments if you already knew this remedy or if you are going to try it this week. I will love to read about your experiences and know how you feel. And if you notice any change, share it so that other people can also find relief. Together we can create a community where age is not a limit, but a source of wisdom. Because your body listens when you speak to it with care, when you feed it with respect, when you treat it with love. And the most beautiful thing is that it answers you, even after 70 years, even after a whole lifetime of effort. The body, just like the seed, always keeps a spark of life waiting to awaken.